Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Westerns.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Western movies.
Well, that sounds like a fun talk.
Well, I'll tell you what, partners. Y'all come back. We'll get into some of the best cowboy westerns.
That's
Sound
right.
sound good to you, bud?
That sounds terrific.
Come on back now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Archer and Pawpaw Show. I know we haven't done one in a while, but, we've been busy. We've had stuff to do.
That's fact.
Yeah. Is that
That's fact.
Now you know what we're talking about. We're talking about our favorite Western movies. Now.
They move our hats.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we're indoors.
Ha ha! There we are. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some westerns. Archer here has gotten into watching some good old westerns. So we're going to talk about 2 or 3 of them this morning, today, whatever it is.
Today.
So what are you thinking there, my friend? You want to talk about? Let's talk about. Give me some of your favorite cowboys that you've watched on westerns here lately.
All right. So we have Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp.
Nah, I'm talking actors, buddy. Come on now, give me some actors.
Okay, we got Val Kilmer.
Ooh, Val Kilmer.
Kurt Russell.
I'm gonna write these down so we don't miss them. Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell. What else?
Clint Eastwood.
Oh, you did some Eastwood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You watched a John Wayne, didn't you?
John Wayne.
John Wayne. Can't miss John. Can't miss the Duke.
The Duke.
Well, those are 4 pretty good ones there. So let's tell you what. Of all these guys you just mentioned, you've watched probably. Oh goodness gracious, you've been watching a lot of westerns. Which one of those is maybe your favorite western so far?
Tombstone.
Got to be Tombstone. I'd have to agree with that. It's one of my favorite westerns. So what? Let's do about 3 or 4 here movies. Let's go Tombstone. Give me a couple Clint Eastwoods that you've watched.
Okay, so we have Hang 'em High.
Okay.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay, we'll go with those 2 first. Good, Bad, and the Hang 'em High and the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. What about John Wayne? What'd you watch there?
True Grit.
True Grit. Okay, that's 4 good ones right there we can do on this little podcast right here for you. So which one you want to start with? Let's do this one last because that's our favorite. So let's do which one of those you want to start with?
Hang 'em High.
Hang 'em High. Good Clint Eastwood movie. Kind of remind me of that one. I've seen it before. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's just how Clint Eastwood portrays the character and how he just throws him out there being
he is so
bad guy.
Clint Eastwood. It's when I first met. A lot of folks first met Clint Eastwood. We old folks did whenever he did westerns, and he's got that. I don't need to say much. I just need to look tough, and he does.
Mm-hmm.
Of Hang 'em High and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which one of those is probably your better Clint Eastwood movie in your terms?
Excuse me.
We're outdoors. We
yeah.
got a little bit of outdoor stuff going on here.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I would again have to agree with you. When I first saw the Good, Bad, and the Ugly, it was. I was never a big Western guy. Didn't really watch many Western. I watched a lot of stuff with my dad, TV shows and whatnot, and I watched the occasional black and white Western. And but those Good, Bad, and the Ugly, he is one tough hombre, if you'll let me say that.
Mm-hmm. He's a good outlaw.
He is a good outlaw.
Say that.
He is a good outlaw. He's good. He's got good. How is his weapon usage as far as the guns, the spinning and whatnot?
Okay, so I don't look at Clint Eastwood as a spinning guy. I just
Oh.
look at him. I mean, he spin every now and then.
Right.
I feel like the only movie I've ever seen him spin in
Right.
was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I tell you what, just for our watchers out there, hop up for a second and show them what a spin is. Archer's been working on this himself. All right, ready? Give us a taste. Go for it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's gonna hit me in the head. Okay. Whoa!
Kind of gotta go crazy on that.
Sucker's gonna go off on me or something. Good job. So he's Eastwood. He's not a gunslinger. Is what you're gonna.
I was working on that for the podcast.
Darn right. He's pretty good at it too. Well, he's gonna do it again. He's actually got a couple of guns. I'm working on a repair on the other, so he can do the double spin. So it's man, this kid's good. I need to give you you need a Western name. The kid's already going. We'll work on that. That's what I'm talking about. All right, saddle that, holster that weapon, sir. Let's continue our conversation. So, yeah, I would agree with you as far as the Clint Eastwood not being the gunslinger type. He's just the guy that walks up and says, he's just that guy. He's a scary guy.
But in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, when
Yeah.
he spins, he only, he pulls it out.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. And
Oh, that's right. He does that kind of a shooting. Okay. Well, he doesn't die in either one of those, does he?
He never dies.
I think on both those he kind of rides off into the sunset at the end, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
There's
yes.
three. There's three of them. So there's, I think it's called, $1 or something like that, and then it's a few more dollars, and then it goes the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So it's a 3-series thing. So Good, Bad, and the Ugly was the third one of the series.
I got you.
So
he plays the same character in all three of those.
Yes. But it's just in all three of them, he's.
I get you. Let me see what the other two are called. I think I know what you're talking about. Was Good, Bad, Ugly series. Dollars. Here we go. A fistful of dollars for a few dollars more, and the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. 1964, 1965, and 1966. Back to back to back. Well, what got you interested in watching westerns? What got you turned on to that?
Well, when I first saw Tombstone was the very first western I probably ever saw.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great one to be the first one you ever saw. Okay, so that's cool. So then you started going backwards and watching some of the old stuff. So we've gotten you a few discs and a few pointed you in a little bit of use. Now I told you to watch True Grit with John Wayne.
Yeah.
And you did watch it.
Mm-hmm.
First impression. You're 10. I grew up with John Wayne. What's your impression of John Wayne?
To be honest, that's the only movie I've ever seen John Wayne in.
Right, but what did you think about the character of Rooster Cogburn?
I thought he was a man who just does jobs, and then he only does it for the money. So he'll just do a job. He says, "I'm the only one. I'm only doing this for the money. Don't talk to me. I'm trying to do my job. To do my job."
That's right.
Do my job.
But do you dig John Wayne as an actor? You like him?
Be honest, yeah. But all I'm saying is, if he's in any other movie that's not a western, I will not watch it.
I would agree with that, and I've seen him in a couple of other movies where he wasn't, and he's just not the same. Yeah, but yeah, every western, every cowboy movie that John Wayne was in, I mean, The Shootist, all the way back to Two Mules. I mean, Rooster Cogburn and the Lady. He's in a couple of war movies that were pretty good. So I'll tell you that he did some World War II stuff that was pretty good. But okay, well, good job. I appreciate good deal. Now, as far as the movie True Grit, what did you think?
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Ooh, good number. Do you like it better or less than the good, the bad, and the ugly? Which one do you prefer?
Um, well, that's actually kind of hard because it kind of depends because one has more action, one has action, and it's kind of like at the very beginning of the good, the bad, and the ugly, it
Mm-hmm.
goes kind of slow,
Right.
and you have to go through the whole movie
Right.
and get to all the parts that are, you know, fast
Action packed,
moving,
so to
action
speak.
packed.
Okay.
And with True Grit, it's just like you don't. It has a storyline that you don't really care about. You just want to go into all the stuff.
So you
You
weren't a
know,
big fan of Kim Darby, the girl character. You didn't really. You
I
didn't.
didn't like her at
Well,
all.
but you really needed her because that's the reason he's going out to do his job
You
because
do
of
need
her.
her, but I wish it wouldn't be like a whiny 14-year-old. I wish she could have just been like an actual girl who
Right.
knew about wilderness and wasn't such an idiot who acts like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and at the end of the movie she falls into a snake hole. Yeah, good job.
Well, and what we need to
You're
do,
smart.
we'll move you into some other John Wayne movies where there's not a kid involved. And it's just a good old westerns. You really need to start watching a few more of those, and I got a list for you, and you'll enjoy it more. The
Yeah.
Shootist is a pretty good one. I think
Yeah,
it was one of his last movies.
during Halloween last year,
Yeah.
I went up to this guy, and he was sitting on his porch like this,
Mm-hmm.
standing there. He had a gigantic table with just buckets and buckets and buckets of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I went over there. He said, "You can get anything. Grab as much as you want." I was like,
Wow.
and that's how I got your John Wayne poster. I mean, your John Wayne.
The John Wayne
couple.
coaster.
Yep.
Still use it to this day. It's a good
Mm-hmm.
coaster. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on. We did Clint Eastwood. We did a little synopsis on John Wayne too. Some of the better Western guys.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of other ones that you're going to run into as you go. Your Robert Mitchum's. Your oh my gosh. Ugh, this is just a list. It's just going to go. But let's talk about your favorite Western movie. My favorite Western movie as well. Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Absolutely fantastic movie. Not a bad part in the movie as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's just the way that Val Kilmer, how he just was so calm through the whole movie,
Right.
and you were like, if you ever watch it, to be honest, it's on Hulu if you ever want to watch it, if you even have Hulu. It's just Val Kilmer. You don't know that he has tuberculosis. You
Right.
just watch the movie and you're like, why is he sweating so much? Why is he sweating so much? Why is he sweating so much?
Right.
And so you're just like, holy crap. And then he's like so calm. And then he keeps on coughing up blood. And you're like, oh my God, what is happening? And then he's like, but he just, Doc Holliday just keeps on fighting and fighting and fighting through it. It's just
well.
great.
The thing about it's a true story, but it's based on a true story of what really happened in Tombstone around the Wyatt brothers and Doc Holliday. See, Doc Holliday was one of those guys that wanted to die. He wanted to die in a gunfight. He wanted to die going out with his guns ablazing, so to speak. He knew he was going to die of tuberculosis.
Yeah.
And so he picked a lot of fights, but the thing is he was better than everybody else.
Yeah.
His instincts would not let him die, and so.
Who do you think anybody could have killed him if he didn't have tuberculosis?
Do I think he would have ever lost a gunfight?
Yeah.
I think eventually, because I think he's one of those guys that would have continued to do gunfights till he was 80 years old, and he'd just get slower and slower and slower. Then somebody would eventually kill him. Some young guy that's a lot faster would have. I think he would have preferred to die in a gunfight rather than lying in a hospital bed. But the story of Tombstone and the story of the Wyatts and all that is basically about the friendship between Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp.
I know Wyatt Earp was actually He was one of my favorites in there too.
Mm.
Favorite scene with Wyatt Earp has to be.
Oh man, there's so many. There's so many good ones.
My favorite one
Yeah.
with Wyatt Earp
Got my tie
is
looking
when
good
is when he walks in
the
there.
beard covers the tie.
When he was walking in there.
Walking
he
in
walked
where?
in the saloon.
Saloon. Mm-hmm. At the very beginning.
Yeah, and he sees Johnny Tiger.
He says, "Johnny Tyler."
Madcap.
Madcap. All right.
That's Doc Holliday's.
That's right.
But you know when he walks in there, he's like, "Hey, you're sitting in my chair." He's like, "Is that a fact?"
Yeah. Hey, we're sitting at a poker table right now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Wow.
You wanna play some poker?
We're dressed to we're dressed to play a little poker in the old Western days. But yeah, I mean Doc Hall.
Oh wait, I need to do something.
Go ahead. Take your jacket off. See, for me, the depiction, the job that Val Kilmer does as Doc Holliday is fantastic. I think it's the best performance Val Kilmer's ever had. I've seen a handful of Val Kilmer movies, and I think it's the best performance he's ever done, ever.
Wasn't he one of the Batmans or something?
Yeah, he was in Batman Returns. No, he was whatever the third Batman is, where he had Jim Carrey.
Batman Forever.
Forever.
Oh,
he was that Batman. I didn't like him, but
that movie was crazy.
He was also in a movie about Jim Morrison and the Doors, which he was really good, but not. I too have the sneezers, but not as good as he was as Doc Holliday. I saw him in Top Gun. Not as good as he was as Doc Holliday.
He was in Top Gun?
Yeah, he was Iceman.
Oh. That's why he looks so familiar.
Yeah, he was Iceman. So, I mean, I think it's his best performance ever. I love the movie. I think Kurt Russell. He's been in a ton of movies as well. I love him as an actor. His depiction of Wyatt Earp and the cool and calm and the, yeah, the entire cast for me works. Mm-hmm. Sam Elliott was great. Bill Paxton was great. I can't remember the guy that plays oh my gosh.
Virgil?
No, the one that plays Ike Clanton.
I can't. Oh my god.
Perfectly acted.
I've seen him in so many things.
Powers Booth is Curly Bill. Michael Biehn is Johnny Ringo. Everybody that's in that movie was just so good. They played well off each other. They
had real mustaches.
Everybody grew a real mustache for the show. There were no props in that movie. It was all
except for the guns.
And I mean, as far as the mustaches and the makeup and everything, it was so. It's just one of my best. It's one of my favorite movies of all time as well. If you viewers out there have not seen it, we both give it a 10 out of 10. I'm like I say, I'm not a big Western guy, but that movie's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So what is there any bad part of that movie for you?
I think his story with Josephine Marcus was boring.
I agree. You need that part because it's part of his life.
I mean, you need it, but you don't really need it at the same time.
Yeah, it's part of his life. I know. It's part of his life story.
I mean, they had to put it in the movie.
You have to have it in the movie.
I wish it never happened. Just go back in time and.
But see, I also don't like the part of Kate with Doc Holliday. But you have to have it in the movie.
Yeah, I don't like her. I feel like she was like slowing him down. I feel like.
Well, she was. She didn't want him to die.
She didn't want him to die. I mean, she was basically just killing him anyways.
She didn't want him to die, but at the same time, she wanted him to be Doc
Holiday.
That's who Doc was. Doc.
Yeah.
He should.
Exactly. I mean, don't make him smoke or drink if you want him to live.
Right. That Doc Holliday was going to be Doc Holliday. So and the bad guys, the Cowboys. The one thing that's hard to understand in the movie is that you had a whole lot of people wearing badges. Where the Cowboys ended up all being deputized for the county, or then Wyatt and his brothers were deputized for the city, and it was kind of weird where it was basically the law chasing the law, and so it's kind of difficult to understand some of it, but it still was a great movie, just a fantastic movie. So.
Yeah.
Let's rank the characters in the movie, best to worst for you. Who was the best? Who was the best character all the way down to? Let's do our top 5 characters of the movie.
Top 5 characters.
Who's your number one?
Number one, Doc Holliday.
Okay, he's gonna go with Doc Holliday. Wow. I'm gonna have to go. My number one, I'm gonna have to go with Wyatt Earp.
No, my number 2 is Wyatt Earp.
Your number 2 is Wyatt Earp. My number 2 is Doc Holliday.
My number 3 is, so we're going top 5?
Top 5.
Number 3 is Ike Clanton.
Whoa, you're gonna go with Ike.
Yeah, he had the best character.
My number 3, I'm gonna go with Johnny Ringo.
Johnny Ringo?
Yeah.
Johnny Ringo would have to be my number 4.
You go Johnny Ringo number 4. I'm gonna go with Curly Bill.
Curly Bill is my number 5.
Curly Bill, you got Curly Bill number 5.
Mm-hmm.
See, my number 5 would, I don't know if I'm gonna go with Ike Clanton or go with Virgil. I really like Virgil Earp's. I'm gonna go with Virgil. I'm gonna go with Sam Elliott, Virgil Earp. He was. I like the way I've always been a Sam Elliott fan, and the way he. It's just the way he carried that character for me. I think he's my number 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your favorite Doc Holliday scene? Because I think I already have mine.
My favorite Doc Holliday scene would be the scene where he is. Wow. Okay, you caught me off guard on that one. I have to think for just a second. If you know yours, go ahead. I've got 3 that I'm thinking about. I got to see which one I'm going to call my best.
Well, first I have. I might have a couple too. I have. Number 1 is when Wyatt Earp is Creek Johnson asks, "Where's Wyatt Earp?" And then he's like, "He's down by the creek, walking on water."
That's a good one. I think I would have to put my favorite scene is the one where
in the saloon where he's
where all 3 of the Wyatt brothers are walking down the street, and Johnny Tyler's really drunk.
Oh.
And he comes out and he threatens him, and Doc Holliday's just getting his beard and his mustache trimmed. And he steps out of the barber chair and walks out there, and when he challenges Johnny Tyler to Johnny Ringo. He challenges Johnny Ringo
when he's like,
"Yeah,
I'm your Uncle Bear."
Yeah, he said, "Say when." He's sitting there hiding his gun behind his back. I think that scene right there shows me that number 1, he's always looking for a fight.
That was my number 3.
Number 2, he's there to protect Wyatt. Wyatt's his friend, and he knows Wyatt can't beat Johnny Ringo. He immediately jumps to his aid, saying, "Hey, I'll do it." And so that one little scene kind of tells me what Doc Holliday's all about. So, what's your other ones?
And then I have the scene where he's at the very beginning where he's in the saloon.
Yeah.
Playing poker. He's like, "You get your money, you get out of here." And he's like, and he's about to pull his gun, and then Doc Holliday's just, "Well,
Ned Beatty.
I don't think I could bear
said,
it if you were my friend."
Yeah. Are we cross? Yeah. He's so smooth. He's so smooth.
We cross.
And there's several.
That mustache is just.
And there's several Wyatt Earp scenes. It just makes me why he's my favorite
Wyatt
character.
Earp is
at the very beginning where he hits the guy who's hitting his horse, and he takes it from him. He hits the guy and says, "That hurts, don't it?" And then the scene where he takes Johnny Tyler out, and then yet another scene there where he sees Virgil riding away in the train, and he finally says he's coming after the Cowboys.
Oh, when he cuts Ike Clanton
yes,
with it.
yes.
He's like, I see one of those red sashes. I kill a man wearing it.
That's right. There's just so many scenes in this movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you got to go see the movie. You have to see the movie. Rent it, buy it, whatever you can do.
Rent it on Amazon.
It is just a fantastic movie. One of the greatest
Buy
ever.
one on Amazon. Buy this.
But anyway, that is our podcast for some Western movies. As he starts to go down the rabbit hole of Westerns, he's started on a good line, and he's going to keep going. So, you got anything else?
Yeah, I do.
What else you got before we cut out of here?
As the narrator of Tombstone says, a band called the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's pretty good all the way through. Everything about the movie is great. That's right.
You know what that means when you watch the movie. It's at the very beginning.
It's very awesome. It's just really good. And so, until next time, we do appreciate you coming in and seeing us.
Woo!
If you got anything else, do you have anything else?
Watch Tombstone, or leave a comment if you watch it.
Right down there.
Or
yeah,
subscribe.
let us know what you think about the movie.
If you watch it, let us know what you think about the movie.
And while you're at it, if you have any suggestions of westerns that this young man can pay attention to and start watching, he's wanting a list of good ones that you feel are good ones that deserve a little bit of a watch, and he'll be more than happy to watch it and come back here and tell you what he thought about it.
Yes,
so,
I will.
Until next time, we do appreciate you coming in, and thank you for coming by, partners.
Howdy, fools.
We're signing out.
Yippee-ki-yay.
That's very good. Yippee-ki-yay. We'll see you next time. We thank you for coming in.
Roy Rogers.
You know Roy Rogers. His was, Gene Autry was I'm Back in the Saddle Again. Roy Rogers was,
Then why didn't Die Hard?
No.
John McClane.
I understand that, but Roy Rogers had a theme song too, and I forget what it is now. Anyway, we'll get to that next time.
All right.
Appreciate you coming in. Bye now.